Yo, what's going on, guys? I'm Josh, and welcome back to Life. Alright, so today, guys, I want to start a brand new series called What Grinds My Gears. And this is a trigger warning, because a lot of people are either going to relate to this and say, yes, that is 100% true, I hate that. Or some people are going to be like, hey, I do that, what's wrong with that? And there is something wrong with that, because there's a lot of people that are going to be relating to this, because it's going to be about basically everyday people. Sometimes maybe it's just things that grinds my gears personally, but half the time it is going to be relatable. And today I want to talk about customers. And a lot of people are already going to know where I'm heading with this. And for my experience, I'm basically going to be talking about fast food chains, but it could go into retail, pretty much anything that deals with if you're giving somebody else service, anything that you have to give people service, so technically they are customers. And a lot of people will say customers are always right. That is 100% false. Customers are never right half the time. They don't know your rules for your establishment that you're working at. So let's head right into this. Let's talk about my experience. Technically, I've worked at McDonald's for about 3.5 years, and I have plenty of stories to tell, but I'm just going to talk about a couple. The one that basically drove me to quit, and also one where I wasn't even working, but that I experienced. Let's talk about the last one first. So it was maybe about a couple weeks ago. I went into one of the McDonald's that I've worked at before, and I've technically worked for 3 McDonald's, but 4 separate occasions. And so me and Aaron went into one of the McDonald's and we were just eating, and the store it hadn't closed yet, but they started to lock the doors, and the manager already went behind the counter, and I actually knew him personally because, like I said, I used to work at this McDonald's. And a lady was knocking on the door. She had a bag in her hand, which means she obviously wanted a refund in exchange for her food, and that is perfectly fine, but there's a proper way to do it, and a lot of customers don't do it properly. So let's just hop right into this. So I head over there, and I told the manager, I'm like, hey, somebody's knocking on the door and they have a bag, so I'm guessing they wanted a refund or they wanted an exchange. So he's like, okay. So they go unlock the door for her, and as she comes in, she is screaming, and she's giving the biggest attitude, saying that the fries are cold, that her kids could get sick from eating it, which is technically wrong. Like I said, customers are not always right. You cannot get sick from cold fries. Chicken, yes. Beef, yes. But you cannot get sick from cold fries. But anyways, yes, okay, so your fries are cold, maybe you want them more hot. There's a proper way to do it. For example, you could walk in and say, hi, my fries are a little cold. Do you think I can maybe get an exchange for it? Or I just want a refund, I'm kind of in a hurry. That's the proper way to do it. You do not have to scream. You do not have to make anybody's life difficult. You don't have to make them hate their job, honestly. So pretty much though, she comes in, she's screaming at him at the top of her lungs, saying that she wants a refund, that this is ridiculous, and she's literally screaming. And so he's handling it professionally, and he's always been like that. He handles things very professionally, and she's still going after him, saying, what is wrong with you? How can you hand stuff out like this? And one of the employees actually starts to back him up and starts getting into it with her, saying, you do not need to scream at my manager like that. She was like, I'm not even talking to you. And she was just like, well, you're speaking to my manager disrespectfully. And I was 100% on her side. I wanted to get up and scream at her because of my experience, but I didn't, because I'm a nice guy, and I was just sitting there trying to enjoy a meal. And that's also the thing. If you're screaming at the employees, people that are there just trying to enjoy their meal, you're kind of ruining their just meal in general. So you're disrupting everybody around you. But anyways, so pretty much that's one experience where customers can absolutely be annoying. They don't know how to handle themselves with respect. They obviously don't have respect for them. They don't have respect for anybody around them. They have to scream. So sure, you're upset, but there's no reason to handle a situation like that. But anyways, so this happened to my last experience working at McDonald's, which is why I will never go back, and it completely just ruined my experience for McDonald's. And there's so many experiences like this, but let's just talk about this experience, and it was literally within my last minutes of working at McDonald's. So I was a manager at the time, and everything is put on you if something is wrong, even though it could not be your fault. You could be doing everything right. You're trying to run a shift. You have so many tasks to do. So let's just hop right into this. So a lady comes in, she has her bag. So I walk over and I was just like, hi, how are you? And then she was just like, and no good, no hi, how are you? So obviously it's going to go bad. So she starts screaming, and she's like, my fries are cold, this and that. And I was just like, the quarter pounder meal wasn't right. And I was just like, okay, and I was just like, we could refund it or we could exchange it. And then I was just like, what size were the fries? Because she didn't give me the bag yet. And then she was just like, well, it came with a meal. She could have said medium, she could have said large. A meal could come with either or. So I was presuming medium. So I was like, so a medium fry? And she's like, you know what? I just want a refund. And she throws the bag at me. Why did she have to throw the bag? She's disrespectful. She's a typical arrogant customer. So I usually try and handle things politely and nicely. But I was working 2 jobs at the time. I already came from my first job. I was exhausted. And I didn't want to put up with anything like that. So I was just like, you really had to throw the bag at me? And she gives me a huge attitude. I was just like, number one, it's not my fault that your fries are cold. I was just like, I didn't make your food. I bagged the food. I'm trying to make sure everything's going smoothly. So there was no reason to throw the bag at me, nor scream at me. So I was just like, and there's so many customers like you know what? I'm done. I was just like, I'm the only one that could give you a refund that you want. Nobody else here is a manager that is qualified to do it. Nobody else knows how to do it. I am done. She's like, what do you mean you're done? I mean, I'm walking out. I am tired of dealing with customers I'm tired of dealing with customers like you. So I clock out, showed her my receipt. And I'm like, bye. I was like, have fun trying to get your refund. And I walked out. And that just shows how irritating the customers can be in retail, fast food, anything of that sort. They just irritate me so bad, even though I don't work there no more. Whenever I see a customer dealing with employees like that, there is no need for it. Everybody's human. Sometimes there are mistakes made, but there is no reason to scream, especially if it's a manager that's trying to do their job, trying to be polite to you, and you handle them like that, even possibly throwing the bag at them. No need for it. Absolutely no need for it. And it's one of the main things that has always grinded my gear, and I don't think it'll ever stop. So for anybody that works in fast food, retail, or anything like that, you know, I respect you. Like, honestly, every time that I honestly go to a store or somewhere to eat, I always try and be as nice as possible, even if sometimes they have an attitude, because I know they have an attitude because it's most likely because they've been having a bad day because of customers like that. That's why I always treat employees of any sort with respect. They could be having a bad day. Everybody has bad days. But there's no reason to scream at them and make their day even worse. That is why I can't stand customers. And that's why the thing that says customers are always right, that is why it is 100% false. They think they are king or queen and that they deserve everything better than anybody else. That is not true. Mistakes happen, especially in a fast food environment where you are constantly doing something and you are running like an entire store. It is difficult. It is not an easy task. You're honestly underpaid. I was actually making pretty decent. Whenever I became manager, I was making, I think it was like a $2 raise, $2.50 raise. But so it was decent pay, but once I quit, I told him, I was just like, tell the store manager that I quit because I just can't handle this. I was like, I'm working 2 jobs. I do not need this second job. It's not like I was going to quit that job and be broke. I didn't have a job. I was unemployed. I already had a second job. So what I asked myself was is this even worth it to constantly deal with customers that are going to treat me with disrespect? I already have stress on my shoulders and they're going to add more. It's not worth it. And for anybody that works in fast food, I 100% agree with you. I respect you, and I will always treat employees with absolute respect. I just don't understand why people are constantly drilling on employees. They already have enough stress on their shoulders. But anyways, guys, welcome to the What Grinds My Gear series. Like I said, I can guarantee that at least a couple people that work in fast food are like, yes, I 100% agree with this guy. Anyways, guys, that's all I have for today. This has been Josh, and this has been Life. If you enjoyed the series, go ahead and comment down below if you enjoyed the series. Smash that thumbs up on it. And I'll catch you guys in another video. This has been Life. Catch you guys in another video. Peace.